Steve, you're really good with the clay, man. That is good.
Tom, it only took me 3 hours to get it right, but after a little while now, I can do it in 15 minutes. But hey, great to see all of you. Thanks so much for coming to our Caerusnet MVP recognition event. You're surrounded today by people that really define what it is to be a giver, what it is to be a Caerusnet member. You've got those qualities, and I'm just so impressed and so really humbled, really, to be around all of you. Some of you, this may be your very first team MVP. For others, you've got a little collection of MVP awards you continue to add to. Kind of the beautiful thing about that, it just goes to show you that this is something that once it's wired in you, it doesn't really get unwired. Once you've decided you want to be more to your customers than they're expecting, once you've decided that you want to create great collaborations with other people, that's where the rubber really hits the road. So when I think about qualities of Caerusnet MVPs and the types of qualities that I see on the screen and the people in front of me, talking about people that we trust, people that if we're going to go to bat for you and bring a new client in front of you, introduce you to other professionals we know, we don't even waste a second of time to think about whether or not you're going to provide good information or do the best by that person. You're super highly trusted. You're fun to be around. You're a nice person. People like you. They like to see a smile on your face. You put smiles on other people's faces. And there's that saying that's been around for a long time that is always, people don't always remember all the things you did for them, but they never forget how you make them feel when they're around you. And that's another quality that you have. You've got integrity, you're professional, you lead by example, you don't complain when you get knocked down, you go like this, you get back up and you keep going again. I don't know of anybody that's been in business for any length of time that hasn't had challenges, but it's your heart and it's your expertise at what you do that keeps you moving forward through whatever challenges you have. So I just wanted to say thank you so much for all of you, for the work that you're doing on your Caerusnet team, inspiring others to have like MVP type performances. I think it's really a wonderful thing. So thank you so much for today. Just to kind of give you a little look at how today is going to go, we have a lot of the MVPs here today to share with us a little bit about their Caerusnet experience, and then even most importantly, lending us your wisdom. Because I always say that knowledge is what we learn reading things, right? Other people telling us what to do. Wisdom is what we gain by actually doing actions ourselves and then learning. So you guys have a lot of wisdom to be able to share with the collective Caerusnet community. And I look forward to hearing those words of wisdom when you have an opportunity to share all of that with us. So for today, what I would like to do is have the facilitators that are on the call today first introduce their MVP member. So just a little tidbit about who they are, and then we'll have that MVP member share with us in a couple minutes their experience in Caerusnet, what they've liked about it, and then any words of inspiration, anything that you can share again with the collective Caerusnet community. So I'm going to go ahead and give, I'm going to call on Tom Hamp over there. Tom Hamp is a Caerusnet facilitator out of Lansing. He's been doing this for well over the past decade. And as a matter of fact, when I started that Caerusnet team a long time ago, and Tom since has taken it over there. And what a wonderful experience it's been to be Kevin's facilitator in my past, but to also know that he just continued on that amazing relationship with Tom. So Tom, you want to introduce Kevin for us?
I will. So I did, one of the things that I did inherit from Steve and the group was Kevin Damesworth. I did not recruit Kevin. He was handed to me, and Kevin has been awesome in my group because no matter what, whether it's referrals or inviting visitors, Kevin is out there busting his rear end, trying to get the group to grow, find the right people, always has a good thing to say in the group. as far as being a member. So I would like to introduce my MVP of my group from Lansing, Caerusnet Lansing 1, Kevin Damesworth from Comparion, a Liberty Mutual company.
All right. Hey, thank you. Appreciate that. Probably, yeah, since about 2009 or 10. So I have, I have enjoyed Caerusnet tremendously. Not just for the chance to like, oh, I get some business out of it. That's always nice, but I really enjoy meeting new people and I enjoy bringing people into the fold. We had an opening for a real estate agent this past year, which is kind of rare. Usually real estate folks do pretty well in Caerusnet, and brought him in, and he's become a great member. And one of my ways of just reaching out to people, and especially in this age of like, social media and technology, and it may be a little less face-to-face interaction, is LinkedIn. And I love LinkedIn. It gives me a chance to keep connecting with people, and I message people and work through that all the time. And that's how I've invited a number of people to meetings and to just reaching out and to just connect that way. So that's just my little tidbit. And I had a major change this year in my business. I've been working for Liberty Mutual for 18 years. And it's been a good career. I've helped a lot of people with their insurance, some of which on this call. But I will say we had a major change. And if you hear the word Comparion, I don't know what it resonates for you. What you guys think? What does that mean? Well, there's kind of two words. There's this word companion, and there's this word compare. There's actually three words I like to think of it. Compare, companion, and compassion. Those three things. That has formulated a new company that Liberty Mutual started called Comparion Insurance Agency. And so that just basically means I'm your companion to help you compare your insurance needs and compare your insurance options. And it's not just Liberty. I have multiple options now. So it was a big change, but it was a good change because now I can help more people. So with their insurance. So that's kind of my story this year. Trying to think about anything else related to Caerusnet is, you guys all know it does take building relationships with people. And so some of my clients, some of the people I talk to when they come into my office, or if I only meet them virtually, I'm very often, every person I'm asking is, what do you do for a living? And what do you surround yourself with as far as people, and how can I think about Caerusnet and how I can invite them to the next meeting? So that's like always part of my process. So hopefully it's part of your guys's too.
All right. Well, Kevin, I'm sure the one thing that the clients are absolutely thrilled with is, even though the name has changed, they've still got the right guy taking care of them. And that's the most important thing. It's you, my friend. It's
Thanks.
you.
Yep.
Okay,
Yep,
Kevin.
absolutely.
Kevin Damesworth, thank you so much for your words of wisdom.
Thank you.
For sharing
Thank
all
you,
of that
Kevin.
with us.
Yeah, thanks, Tom.
Thank you, Kevin. Appreciate it. Yep.
Yep, thank you, Tom.
Okay, so we're going to go ahead and jump over to Wendy Caverly. Wendy, many of you know, she is a fantastic networker, does a great job with her Caerusnet teams, and I know you've got some new and also some repeats. So why don't you go ahead and introduce yours, Wendy? Whoops, got to unmute there.
I can talk. I don't need a microphone. You know that. So yes, I am actually very honored to have 5 MVPs. One cannot be here today. She is up north with her family. But just super quick, a little bit about Erin Bears. Erin Bears is a repeat MVP of her team. She was number 10 of that team when it was in core. And she has been a member ever since, 8+ years. So, and she has won the MVP 3 times, natural connector. What I really love is I put it up to my teams to vote. So they see that consistency. It actually is a battle between her and John Manwiller. So I'm kind of curious to see who comes out on top this year as well. But who is in the room with us today? Trisha Gotham. She has been a long-time member of the Fenton Genesee County team. And it's not easy being a Caerusnet team and being the only Caerusnet team in an entire county full of a lot of different systems. So Trisha was a member before I was the facilitator of that group. And then she came back, and she has always been so very consistent, not only with her attendance, but with her willingness to help others and share that information. And that is actually what one of the feedback from the voting form that I gave was, Trisha brought information into my office that would be beneficial to my clients. She even met with our employees and was a wealth of information, always ready to share a good bit of truth that helps you as a leader, solid referrals, and consistent effort. And on the backside of that, she introduces me to people all the time that she's actively trying to encourage to her team. And here's the great news. I see it. Even if those people never freaking show up, she made that introduction. And that's part, she's actively trying to attempt to grow her team. So Trisha Gotham with Flagstar Bank. I don't know if you want me to stop in between people or just do them all at once.
Why don't we go one at a time, and that way we can focus on each one at a time. All right, Trisha, great job.
Well, thank you, Wendy. I love Caerusnet and the connections that I have made with our group. Being consistent and being in it a long time, it really does pay off. So, you know, I think a lot of times people just want that quick sale. They think, you know, you've got to have referrals all the time, but I truly believe, like Wendy says, planting those seeds and doing that farming approach works best for me. I love to build those relationships. I want to know who I'm referring to as well. I don't want to refer my bank clients over to someone that is not going to take great care of them. So I love helping people. And so I think that is key to being successful in any business. I'm able to tell my business owners that I meet with how it can benefit them and how they can market and talk to so many people at one time. What a great use of time management. You spend an hour every week or so together, and the benefits are wonderful. I still have relationships with some of the people that aren't even in Caerusnet or the network. I still have relationships with working groups anymore because we've built that rapport. So even though they're not in the group, we still hear she's a lot of fun and energetic, and you know, so got to worry about issues. So hopefully you could hear what I said.
Trisha, I think we got about 70% of what you said, but it was a really good 70% that came through. So let's put our hands together for an awesome Flagstar banker out in the Fenton, Genesee County area. We love Flagstar Bank, right, Scott? Let's jump over to Wendy and introduce your other MVPs that are here.
All right, my next one is Christine Reed with Great Northern.
I don't know if you guys can hear me or not, or if I'm having connectivity issues. So hopefully you could hear what I said.
We did. Yes, we've given you an applause. We've heard about 70%. It was all good. You did a great job, and we're moving on to the next one.
Yeah. So she is a member of my Dexter Chelsea mega team. Prior to 2020, there was a team in Dexter and a team in Chelsea. And through the pandemic, they got combined into one, and she's ridden with the group the whole way. She is commercial, farm, and equine. And one of the things that I really appreciate about her is her willingness to be open with sharing the insurance seat with others who are experts at what she does. Obviously, as an insurance agent, she can do everything, but her area of expertise is commercial, farm, and equine. So she has allowed a different insurance agent under a different agency to come in, because she knows the more people in the room, the more opportunities there are for everybody, and overlap is referral passing opportunities, not competition. And that is actually a really rare thing to find in insurance people. Sorry if there's other insurance people on here. And what are some of the teams? There are teams as Let's see. Christine takes time to think outside the box in her pursuit of a policy-related issue. She is also motivated towards finding ways to leverage funds to help nonprofits survive. She is also very active in her community. Tentpole of the team, Christine Reed.
Well, thank you, Wendy. What a nice introduction. Appreciate it. And that's one of the reasons why I am in Caerusnet, being a prior BNI member for 10 years. So I couldn't ask for a better facilitator. And that's one thing when I do invite guests, I encourage them to check out Caerusnet because we do have facilitators. What a better way to do networking and have somebody run that room and run that networking experience. Not only do they operate the meeting and facilitate it, they also teach you how to network and make the most valuable use of your time. So it's educational. And then you have a whole group of people there working for you, helping you build your business. The best advice I have is to stay engaged with people, listen to them. You know, don't be on your phones. Don't be, trying to do that last minute of work. Take that hour. You owe it to yourself. You owe it to them. Listen to their little bits of personal information that they add into their member minute and put that into something personal you could say about them. And they're gonna build that relationship a little quicker with you. They're gonna think about you the next time that they have an opportunity to refer. I found that's worked real well. Plus, it's just being a nice person. And so if you're a nice person, they're gonna think about you more often. And if you're gonna smile more and life is happier. That's what I like about Caerusnet. We have a great group. It's fun. I look forward to my weekly meetings. Thank you, Wendy, for having me in your group.
Great job, Christine.
Great. Okay, so my next MVP is my West Oakland County New Hudson pinned team, Robert Joseph Palmer with the Raven Writing Institute. If you ever needed proof that it's important to be repetitive in your member minutes to make sure that people know exactly what you are and how to introduce you, Robert's the example of that. I cannot say his name without saying it that way. So Robert Joseph Palmer, and he has, I've known him for many years, but he's been a member of that team just for the last couple or so. And here are some of the things that were said about him. Good energy, always willing to help and do trust builders. He is always upbeat and keeps the team involved and is always connecting people with people. And I love the fact that he does network a lot. And part of his conditions for having conversations with him is you also have to visit his team. So, because he knows it's good for them. So he's really good at exposing the team to new people, which means new opportunities. Robert Joseph Palmer, Raven Writing Institute.
Whoa. Well, it's actually the Raven Institute, but I obviously need to repeat myself.
Yes, you do.
Robert Joseph Palmer, the Raven Institute, but we do have a school of writing. And what happens to you and Steve is we used to be Raven Writing Studios. So I think that's still ingrained in your head. So, and as old people, it's hard for us to change. But so talking about my Caerusnet experience, what comes to mind for me in my group is my facilitator. She's just a monster. I mean, she is such a giver and she's such an expert in her field of networking. The system she has is genius. I think she's sitting on top of something that's going to be world-class and world known with that networking system of hers. And I know this stuff, I'm not easily swayed by information unless it's life-changing and new and shakes me up. And she is sitting on something like that. So it's so great to have a facilitator like that. I'm supposed to share some techniques, I'm told. So for me, it's note taking. Take notes at your meeting, be engaged, like Christine said, Miss Reed. Am I saying that, Kristen or Christine? Take notes, because when you're writing something down, the dots start connecting. You start making those spontaneous synchronicity starts happening, and now it's documented. It's something you can it's something solid you can follow up with, going back to those notes and create a system where you can really go back and make that a checklist and spend that time. Do it during your trust builder as well. Really take rabid notes, and that magic will happen. My other technique that I'm implementing right now is a 20-20-20. I spend 20 minutes 3 times a day, just focused on my networking and following up on my to-dos. Because there's a lot of to-dos that happen. A lot of dots get connected, and a lot of those dots can fall through the cracks in your professional day. So I really make it a mindful thing. So I'm spending 4 hours out of my 40 hours a week. I think it's worth it. I think it's going to really grow the business of the people around me and grow mine as well. But it's not a 40-hour week, right? So we spend 60 hours. We spend 4 being an expert networker and following up. What kind of momentum is that going to create for our team? The other technique I like is, and Steve, this is because of you, mutually beneficial connections. It's one thing to create a referral that's one and done for somebody, but it's another thing to connect them with someone that's going to continue to bring referrals to them on a monthly basis, indefinitely. So I really try to make those connections for the people on my team, connect them with someone that's going to become a referral partner for them, and then eventually come into their Caerusnet team as well. One last thing, when you're having a trust builder with someone outside Caerusnet, always be in that mindset to bring value and be an asset to their business and let the universe take care of the rest. Find a way to help them. And the best way you can help them is invite them to your Caerusnet meeting. That's bringing a lot of value to their professional life. So that's just another way to do it. So get them in there and let your facilitator work their magic. Robert Joseph Palmer, the Raven Institute. Boom!
Panel you. All right. And my last MVP is Christy Hyduke with 9 to 5 Wellness. She is a member of the Livingston County Thursday noon group. And I think she is an excellent example of how sometimes consistent gets overlooked. We often reward the flash, the bang, the new person that came in and just rolled over everything, or not rolled in a negative way, but there is something to be said about the slow burn and the consistency that comes from our introverts who participate with this group. And that is very much Christy Hyduke. This award for her is, as far as I know, her first, but it is a decade overdue. So yes, I met her doing this. And she is the very best friend I have ever had in my life. Our families are interwoven now. And she's part of my boardroom. And so I have nothing but good to say. And I am so glad that she finally got recognized for that consistency, support, and encouragement that she quietly offers all the time, and the strength that comes with that. So I'm going to stop, otherwise I'm going to start crying, because I'm so excited that she finally got this recognition without me stuffing the ballot box for her. Christy Hyduke, 9 to 5 Wellness.
Well, thank you. You're going to bring a tear to my eye as well. And yes, it's always the quiet ones that you have to watch out for. But I'm what you call a boomerang Caerusnet member. So I actually started in Caerusnet with a different last name, different hair color, and a different occupation. So if my name sounds familiar, you might have seen me from an Ann Arbor or Brighton team. And yes, Wendy and I did become dear friends when we started following each other around every other week, going to Caerusnet teams. And what I love about Caerusnet, I came from BNI as well, and I was a VP of that team. And my focus was data and entry and referral entry. And it was not focused on creating those referrals. It was focused on managing that team. So I appreciate the Caerusnet system, the fact that it is facilitator run. Another thing that I really enjoy about Caerusnet is you do get those relationships that go just beyond business. I have this whole boardroom of business owners, these strong women who press forward and set great examples in their businesses and their networks. And I met all of them through Caerusnet. And they're all in different teams. but I've been able to create those wonderful lasting connections. And even when I was not in Caerusnet for a time, because at that time my job didn't allow it, I still use the Caerusnet system. I use Caerusnet to buy my house, to get my insurance. I used Caerusnet over and over again because I knew I could trust those individuals. So of course, naturally, when I started my own business, Caerusnet was the very first thing that I joined. And one of my recommendations for anybody that is joining Caerusnet or is in Caerusnet is to keep that curiosity open and available. I am an introvert, as Wendy said, but by instilling that curiousness and just how to easily have a conversation with individuals, it goes well beyond what is it that you do and just how can I help? You start to create those personal connections. Now, every time I'm going into a shop or I'm doing something, I'm just like, oh my gosh, you sit and you talk with everybody. Well, because I'm creating connections. And when I come in the next time and they give us a big hug, it's because we gave them that openness and I was able to help them. And then they come and they ask for those requests and they know they can trust me with them. So I just appreciate the Caerusnet system for being there for that. And Wendy for helping to coach us to be comfortable in those situations without changing who we are. I can still be who I am and my authentic me and still connect people and be a quiet person. So thank you very much for all of that. And I love being a part of this team and this system.
We love having you in Caerusnet, Christy. Great job, Wendy. Thank you so much for those introductions. Wonderful MVPs. We're going to jump over to John Manwiller. John and his wife Hannah co-facilitate the Brighton Fenton Zoom team. And John's been an MVP of Caerusnet as a member many times himself. So how cool is it for you, John, now to be a facilitator and to be able to award a couple members with some MVPs?
Absolutely. Yeah, good morning, everybody. I'm here with my wife, Hannah. We co-facilitate the Brighton Fenton team, and Hannah's been off screen so far. She's 7 months pregnant and in her cushy chair, but she wanted to come help me introduce. We actually have 2 MVPs. We had a dead tie, so we have co-MVPs of our team, just like we have co-facilitators, because we have 2 facilitators, we get 2 MVPs. Just kidding. Steve says we need to break the tie next year, but in any case, I'll introduce our first MVP and then I'll let Hannah introduce our second one. But I want to introduce all of you to Esteban Rubio. He is a realtor with Keller Williams, and he joined our team many months ago. And I want to give him a quick shout out. I am in the process of hiring an assistant for my branch office as a financial advisor, and he's relocating from St. Louis, Missouri up here to Michigan, and Esteban is going way above and beyond helping him and his family with that relocation, finding a place. And so I want to introduce all of you to Esteban.
Hey, John, thank you so much. My name is Esteban Rubio with Keller Williams. And first of all, I just want to say thanks to John and Hannah, because I think a great Caerusnet group starts with the facilitators. They're the ones that are in charge of finding new people and growing that group. And I believe that John and Hannah both found really good people that, I can trust to refer my business out to. And this is my first networking group, so it's been a lot of growth for me. I'm not big into talking in front of people, so just challenging me in different ways. And every Wednesday, I look forward to that 1-hour session where I can just meet with these different professionals that are becoming friends. And if I have questions about financial advising or what's going on or how much you can get for a CD, I know I talk to John. If I have an insurance question, I know I go to Matt. So it's a really great time for me just to get value and to give it if it's needed. I would say the piece of advice I would give is to just remember why you joined that group. My main reason for joining was to give. So I'm committed to giving no matter what. So keep on giving. And I think that the accountability side of Caerusnet is just like real estate. So a home's value is determined by the homes around it, right? The comparables. So with Caerusnet, we're surrounding ourselves with groups of people that are on a similar mission to grow their business and to serve people. So that's my piece of advice. And again, just want to say thank you so much to John and Hannah for having me here.
We love having you, Esteban. I'll turn it over to Hannah and let her introduce our other MVP.
All right, so I want to introduce Kelly Planko to you. She's our other MVP of our group. Kelly Planko is with doTERRA Essential Oils. So she's been repping these amazing health benefit full of essential oils since she's been part of our team. And Kelly has been part of our team since the beginning. So we started just under a year ago facilitating our team. So Kelly's been here since the very beginning. She was one of our very first members. And just a couple of things that stand out about Kelly is she's been really faithful in attendance, whether it's our weekly meetings or coming to other events that are in person, or even doing trust builders with other members in the group. She's really great at building connections with other people, really great at being personable with other people. And I think just having her consistency and having her be fully present when she's there in the meetings has made a huge impact in our team. I think everyone can see her leadership skills, and it's very clear and obvious why Kelly was chosen as MVP this year. So this is Kelly Planko with doTERRA Essential Oils, and I'll turn it over to her.
Thank you. Thank you so much, John and Hannah. Yeah, this was quite the surprise for me. So as they said, I'm pretty much a newbie to any type of network group. And I'd have to say, really, my favorite part is just simply meeting new people and forming those lasting relationships. Joining Caerusnet for me was going like way out of my comfort zone, which is something I needed to do, but, you know, definitely challenged myself. I'm a complete introvert here, so I definitely relate to Christy on that one. But again, I'm just so thankful that I did. John and Hannah were very welcoming to me, and just from the get-go, and really, you know, put me at ease to say, hey, you know what? Yeah, I definitely want to join this and see where it takes me and see, you know, what happens. So again, you guys, thank you so much. I'd have to say, really getting to know the people on your team is key to just building that trust and passing and getting referrals in the long run. So yeah, I definitely try to be, you know, there is, you know, on all of the meetings, and definitely, you know, connect with every individual that I can. The best advice I would give is just, you know, be real, be yourself. Being completely authentic and caring for those in your community, I feel is just key to being successful. I love serving people. I love helping and giving in any way that I can. So this has been, you know, great. It's, you know, still, I'd say new and in the beginning. So I'm really excited for the future and what's more to come. So thank you very much for having me, everybody.
All right, and really quickly as well, too, we need to put our hands together for John and Hannah. They were awarded Best New Caerusnet Facilitators for last year. Really spreading the love. John, being an MVP member himself, really knows what goes into being into Caerusnet. So great job, John and Hannah. You guys are great.
Awesome, absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Okay, we're going to jump over to Chaz Carrillo from Lansing area. Chaz, why don't you go ahead and introduce your MVP?
Absolutely. So I do have a cheat code, which is all my members are MVPs. So it's pretty easy to be able to nominate one person, but then it just becomes hard to select it. I run this as a dictatorship, so there is no vote. It's all me. People can blame me. I take full responsibility for everything that's said and done here. And this year, just like most years, Heidi McNaughton was an MVP, but this year is their first award-winning year. Heidi's an awesome connector, really cares about people, understands the values of relationships, and just does such a great job making sure people feel heard and are connected. She came to the breakfast. She is engaging with the outside Caerusnet members. but she also, is very consistent as far as attendance, involvement, and referrals. And, she has an extensive background. We're a little bit different as far as to have a filter. We don't have people that are brand new at anything that they do. We usually have them have some experience, but she has the unique experience of having over 20 years experience, probably more in the financial institution industry. And now with Liberty Title now for probably about 6-7 years. So she's an awesome resource for everyone. And I don't know if I probably forgot 10 things great about her that I could have mentioned, but our MVP award winner this year is Heidi McNaughton from Liberty Title. Go ahead, Heidi.
Thank you, Chaz. Yes, I have been with the Caerusnet group for 6 years, and I'm going to admit that my predecessor at Liberty Title signed me up for Caerusnet, and I kind of groaned. I had been to other networking groups, and I thought, oh, okay, I'll give it a try. And it is one of the best things I've ever done. This group is so different than any other networking group I've ever been in. We like each other. We have all become friends. We laugh, we have fun. And I would say to everybody, make sure that you get to know everybody in your group. You can look at people and say, I'll never, have a referral for that person, or they'll never have a referral for me. And you could be dead wrong. I had a situation this past year that I needed to use one of our members' services, and that person got my mother-in-law all the way from Virginia up to Michigan for me and did an awesome job. And I never in a million years would have thought that I would have needed to use her services, but I'm glad that, that I had the opportunity to get to know Dawn through this group. So, and Chaz is wonderful. We all laugh at him and ask him if he really has a job, because we all think that he's a professional networker. But he teaches everybody in the group a lot of awesome things. So I'm so glad to be a part of the group. And I would say to anybody who is interested in joining, you're going to get out of the group what you put into it, and you never know, what you're going to learn from meeting new people. So make sure you reach out to everybody. Thank you.
Great advice. All right, Heidi, well done. Great job, Chaz. Thank you so much for the Lansing Green Machine out there. Here, just to give you guys a little preview, we've got 20 minutes left in the meeting. I think we're going to be finishing right on time. Here's how it's going to go. I'm going to go ahead and introduce the MVPs for my teams. And then we've got a special recorded announcement from Doug Moffat for his MVPs. And then I also want to hear Steve Beber and Jeff Gronke are here, but their MVPs are not. So when we finish today's meeting, I will just ask you each to say just a quick word on your MVP's behalf. And that way we can recognize them as well too. So with that being said, we're going to jump over to Ann Arbor, Michigan. Barbara Zinzer. She is all about giving the personal experience to her clients. And she calls me all the time. If we don't have somebody in the network that she can refer her clients to on her team, she's calling me, Steve, I've got somebody that I want to help. Do we have a so-and-so in the network? So she just really cares about her clients. She is the deserving MVP of the Ann Arbor 1 O'Clock group. Let's put our hands together for real estate agent Barbara Zinzer from the Charles Reinhardt Company.
Hi, everyone. So nice to be in front of this wonderful group. Oh, my goodness. I have written all your names down, and I'm making notes along the way as to what it is that you do. And of course, I already know that, if I go to the directory, I'll be able to find you. And so, but now I have seen faces and I've heard a bit about your backgrounds, and I'm very excited to connect. To move this along, I am actually a Caerusnet member for 9 years. I have belonged to 2 groups. There was an earlier group, but my second group, which is the one I've been in now the longest, just worked out better because in the day of real estate, we used to have tours, and that was Tuesday tour. And the time that I was in was conflicting. And so the right opportunity came up. A real estate agent moved out of the 11 o'clock and I moved in, or at the 1 o'clock now, and I moved into that and been so happy there. This is my first MVP award, believe it or not. It's taken me 9 years to get here, but I'm here today. Anyone who visits our group actually sees the connections and the friendships that we have amongst ourselves. The team is a very strong team. We've been together, many of us, for a lot of years, some even longer than my reign there. And over this time frame, I have really grown. I mean, I was in when I saw the first placard that was out there of Caerusnet and do you want to join a referral group? And I didn't know anything about it. Man, I knocked on the door, said, what is this thing? I really think I need to be a part of it. And so Steve talked to me and I thought, you know what? There is no one better that I want to be with than any team that Steve's heading. And so that's how it started there. I enjoy his leadership and his tutoring. And for me personally, anything that I can tell you that has really helped make the difference for me is getting my calendar out and blocking those trust builders. I am being more sincere about them. I had 2 yesterday. I have 2 already planned for next week. And you know what? Get that calendar out and make a commitment to yourself that you will find people to have trust builders with. Now, I make a joke about this, and for Christine, who does farm stuff, I have my own little chicken. Okay, here's my chicken. My chicken is a timer. Okay, I get 10 minutes. 10 minutes, get that book out, find people, and put it down and make a trust builder. So they also make a cow and they make a cat. And so if you like that idea, you can go to Ace Hardware. They have them. So that's what I want to tell you about that. I want to let Heidi know I have a closing today. I'm going to have to leave 10 minutes early for, and guess what? It's with Liberty Title. Yay. So I'm already here to support you and your groups. And if you need any help in Ann Arbor, please call Barbara Zinzer.
All right, great job, Barbara. I've got a feeling this isn't going to be your last MVP, and thank you for continuing already on MVP performance starting this year. So it's really interesting. On my teams that are here today, I've got 2 real estate agents and then 2 people that are in that health and wellness space. So kind of cool that this works for so many different types of professions, but more specifically, it works for a certain type of person. And Scott Shea is that type of person on my Canton team. He's somebody that cares so much about his team that just about every 90 days, he rounds everybody up and says, we're going to Mavericks, a sports bar in Canton for like a few hours. And they get together, they break bread, they have a great time. Sometimes there's even guests that are coming there and then they find their way to a Caerusnet meeting. So Scott Shea from Berkshire Hathaway Real Estate, really, he's the real deal. Welcome to the meeting, Scott.
Thank you so much, everybody. It's great to be here. And I just want to thank Steve for the honor and privilege of being in one of his groups. It is always nice to have the founder mentoring us on a daily basis. So, and like a lot of people on this call, I've had some previous networking experience, but the facilitated model is definitely a model that is above the rest, in my opinion. Just to have that daily teaching, that daily, just paying attention to the details and making sure things get followed up on, versus the rotation of other groups where, you know, you never know if the job's getting done. And sometimes the ones in the executive positions aren't even that good at networking. So it's just an honor and a privilege to be here with all of you. And I want to thank my other fellow realtors. Barbara and I have had several interactions in the past, and it's always good to meet other agents from other areas and just kind of share good stories and good networking opportunities. I can't believe, Steve, it's been 7 years, if you can believe that, since you founded the Canton chapter. And it's been a great ride. I wasn't quite the founding member, but just very soon after. And I just can't believe it's been 7 quick years. So it's been a great experience. Also, I would say someone brought up, I think it was Robert brought up the idea of someone that you can refer to on a regular basis. I'll steal this term from someone else. They called it a referral partner. So just someone who's in a position to refer someone on a regular basis. And like if it was an IT person, if someone did virus or software or, or something like that, they're going to have those opportunities all the time. If it's a heating and cooling person, they might need an electrician. If it's a real estate agent, we got dozens of people that we need on a regular basis, movers and handymen and painters. And so, it's really special to have someone as a referral partner. And I've even told brand new members that have visited our chapter, I say, you may want to develop a relationship with this person because they're going to be in a position to refer you on a regular basis. And that should be one of your number one goals. So like a lot of people have mentioned, I just believe in doing the trust builders as much as possible, especially on your off weeks. I mean, that's a great time to do a trust builder. And the little happy hour that we did, we're actually exploring the idea of doing a lunch, Steve. So someone mentioned that. So that's it. Thanks everybody for the opportunity to be here, and congratulations to all the other winners.
All right, you're awesome, Scott. Thank you very, very much. So Heather Heffley, she's known as the Reiki lady on her Brighton Tuesday 8 o'clock Caerusnet team. She visited a few different Caerusnet teams when she's starting her business, and sometimes we feel like we're on an island until we find other islanders on there with us, and that's what Heather's done on her Caerusnet team. Let's welcome the Reiki lady to the MVP ceremony.
Hey guys, Reiki lady here, and yeah, as Steve said, I came to the team because I was on an island. I really felt alone and didn't really know how to kind of navigate this business world. And I guess like that, I wrote down what I want to say. That is the biggest thing that I learned from being on Caerusnet is the team and the trust builders. And when I refer somebody out, it really helps to know the people. And Steve always says, know, like, and trust, and he drills it in our brain. So there's so much truth to that, because when I refer somebody, I've talked to them, I know them, and I can like hand off people. And when you're working in the wellness industry, a lot of the people that we talk to, they come to us with their problems, and a lot of times they're in a really vulnerable position. So it's extra important that I know, like, and trust you. So if I hand off somebody who's already in a vulnerable position, who's going through big life changes, and I hand them off to somebody and they don't do a good job, that's extra painful for them. So to be able to hand off somebody to a business professional who's going to take great care of them is it's a privilege. And so the referrals are extremely important, and I appreciate all the hard work that everybody's doing, and the trust builders, and like Steve said, there's wellness people now on the teams, and it's expanding beyond just kind of like the business areas. And that's really cool, because in life, we might need our tires changed, but we also have mental health issues and different things going on. So the teams are very holistic. And I think that's awesome, because my clients come in and they've got all sorts of issues going on. They need housing, and they need mortgage and finances and mental health. And there's just all sorts of issues in life that we deal with. So having this vast team is incredible, and it's a gift. So and then the other thing that I wanted to say was that our teams are a little microcosm of the communities that we live in. And the thing that keeps me coming back is that we're so different. Every team is very diverse with our life experiences, our beliefs, and everything that we're bringing to the table, and yet we get along. you know, so it's amazing. I think we're kind of like the fabric that's holding our communities together. And we take care of everybody in our community. It doesn't matter where they come from, what they believe in. And I love that. So I don't know, I love Caerusnet. I refer any business person I know who's, you know, kind of in that, I'm like, you got to join us. Come on, check it out. So yeah, I love it. So that I'm Reiki Lady. Nice to meet you guys. I would love to meet up with anybody who wants to talk to me.
All right. You are awesome, Heather, and thank you so much. I'm so glad you could make the call today. I was very curious what you were going to have to say. And if anybody wants to learn more about Reiki, Heather is fantastic at it. It's fantastic. Let's jump over to another health and wellness person. So Joy Detling, she joined a Caerusnet team that not too far into her adventure, she wasn't getting results. She wasn't sure if it was a good fit. And I really appreciate it when people come to me just being honest. And we were able to have an incredible talk. Not everybody that I talk to that's experiencing that kind of stuck at the fork in stuck at that fork in the path actually is able to make an incline and actually able to make a big change and all of a sudden start seeing results. Many people sabotage their own experience, but Joy, after our conversation, doubled down, so much so that the team that she was actually thinking of leaving, she became the MVP of. So let's put our hands together for Joy Detling.
Thanks, Steve. Yes, I just to complete that story a little bit, because it's like and this was maybe about a year ago. Actually, Steve and I did have a conversation. I was ready to leave our team, you know, and like even just be like, I'm done with this. It's not working for me. And I think it's really important to recognize how big mindset is in our success within Caerusnet, because before that, and even when I first joined Caerusnet, I was very skeptical if it would work for me, because I was in the wellness space, and I was like, you know, I don't see a lot of other wellness people here. Does it mean that this doesn't really work well for wellness people? So I was very skeptical from the beginning, and didn't feel like it was doing much for me. And, you know, Steve and I, we had a great heart-to-heart conversation, and he was really able to talk me off of the ledge, you know, as I was ready to jump off. And I'm so glad he did, because with that conversation too, I completely changed my mindset, where I was like, okay, I am all in on this. I am like, you know, we're doing it. And like, and within a few weeks of me making that mindset turn, it also manifested in the physical realm as well, where I was actually getting, I remember that those first couple of weeks, I got several referrals from our team. And so there's really an energetic thing that happens that I think is really important too. And another thing that I think mindset wise that has really helped me with Caerusnet is really seeing this as a community. For me, I've really let go of the attachment of getting referrals and this being a referral network. I see this as my community. I see this as my family. And anytime I'm talking to anyone out there, you know, I'm talking to friends, I'm talking to other business people when I'm networking, like it's always going through my mind, okay, this is my web, this is community. Who do I know that this person needs to connect with? And it's a question I'm asking all the time, no matter who I'm talking with or who I'm with. So I think just like coming from that place of heart and that place of love and wanting to build community, it makes such a big difference. And just for me, I have to say, like, just in addition to getting referrals, Caerusnet has helped me grow and evolve my business so much, because it's not just connected me with clients, but it's connected me with people who have had a huge impact on my business, just like people that have helped me think about strategically how to grow and how to organize my business, which anyone else who's a wellness person in here knows that wellness people, we tend to need a lot of help with that kind of stuff. So just the amount of help I've had on my business has been profound just by the people I've connected with in Caerusnet. So yeah, thank you so much.
All right, what a great success story, Joy. So just a quick thing, we've got about 3 minutes until the top of the hour. If anybody here had an appointment that you have to run to, no marks against you if you've got to go. I appreciate you giving us your time. We are nearing the finish line here really quickly. We've got two very patient MVPs waiting to talk right now. We've got both Keri and Mary Beth. And Doug Moffat couldn't be here today. Doug's also a tennis coach in addition to being a leadership coach. You've got some powerful MVPs on your Brighton and your Ann Arbor team that you get to introduce. And then also, what a blessing it is to have someone like you who, even when faced with challenges, finds a way to lead, finds a way to find more. You were the MVP facilitator for Caerusnet last year. I hope that you'll speak on that as well too. So Doug, take it away.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Steve. Appreciate it so much. Hello, everyone. And welcome to 2023. Hope you're having an amazing start to the year so far. Well, Steve, first, I got to give kudos, shout outs, and big props to my two MVPs, starting with Mary Beth Potrykus, Mama Bear Productions from the Brighton team. Unanimous. They're like, when I said, I want you to vote today for MVP, they're like, well, it's going to be Mary Beth. And I was like, well, we still need to vote anyway. And yeah, she's just so consistent, invites visitors. She just comes prepared. She loves doing the spotlight. She passes lots of referrals, and she's like the glue of the team. And I would say the same, very similar characteristics to Keri Middaugh from the Ann Arbor team, just so awesome. She was one of my very, very first members, the first or second person I actually met with before our team even started. And if you want to call Keri before you start packing, I think is her tagline. She's just the best. And she does the best trust builders where you walk. You go with her and you walk somewhere, and she's a dynamo. And thank you both, because it just makes it fun to show up and know there's going to be great people in the room, right? So secondly, thank you so much for the most valuable facilitator honor. It's a question I love asking not only my Caerusnet team to vote for an MVP, but my tennis teams. And they say, well, Coach, what does it mean to be most valuable? And it just means so many things, Steve, right? It's working through those challenges. It's showing up every day. It's having the grit. It's having the passion to do this awesome thing called facilitation. And I just love it. I have so much fun. I look forward to my meetings. And my intention when I walk in that room is that people walk out of that room better than when they walked in the room. And I just think that's a great principle for all of us to operate with. And I've really been encouraged for years and years by a saying that goes like this. I want to finish with SW5N. It used to be SW3N, but now it's SW5N. So, and here's the thing with a lot of things in life. Some will, some won't. So what? Stop whining is the new one. And someone's waiting for your call and for your referral and for your words that lift them up that day. So go out there, be go-getters, go-givers, and let's crush it in 2023.
And Doug wanted me to say a few words on each of your behalf. So Keri Middaugh, she is a member of Doug's Ann Arbor team. Keri and I actually initially met through another real estate agent. I was hoping to work with her, but I never had a spot open on my teams. And I thought to myself, man, is she awesome? I hope I get a chance to work with her sometime. And then Doug Moffat goes, hey, Steve, I'm going to start an Ann Arbor group. And I go, I've got the real estate agent for you. She's awesome. And it's been like, what an awesome story ever since. Keri, this isn't your first MVP, so it's awesome to see you here again. Let's put our hands together and welcome Keri Middaugh from Real Estate One, everybody.
Good morning, people. I want to be mindful of the time, so I'm just going to cruise through. I've got 4 points that I wanted to just deliver today. So number one of my absolute favorite things about Caerusnet is the toolbox. I know that's kind of like classroomy, but I really love the toolbox. Doug does a great job coming up with those and bringing in some really great points. We've especially been focused on emotional intelligence. and listening to our client holistically and having it not be about the quick sale, but about serving our client as a whole. So my second point is a tip, and it is to connect with visitors, because you don't know if they're going to come back or not. So just grab them before they scoot out of the room and at least exchange cards and maybe try to have a phone call, or better yet, a trust builder. I've met some really great people that way. My third point is I wanted to challenge us, since I think we're sort of leaders in our group. I would love to challenge us to try to increase the diversity of the people in the room. I would love for the faces in our group to more accurately reflect the faces of the communities and the people that we serve. So that is something that I'm a little bit like a broken record about that. I'm surprised Doug let me come today, but I really think the diversity is super important, and that's something that I hold close to my heart, and I try to do that as well. Okay, so my last point is, a fun tidbit. Raise your hand if you've ever seen the TED Talk called How to Start a Movement. It's 3 minutes long. It's super short and fast. I'm going to put the link in the chat, and you guys can grab it and listen to it as a little treat later over your lunch. But I feel like, so the How to Start a Movement, it's not about the leader. The leader is kind of like a lone wolf if they don't have a follower to come along behind them and kind of like show the crowd what to do. So I feel like we have a lot of first follower vibes in the Zoom room today. And I just wanted to let you know that the first follower is actually like the most important person in starting a movement. So that's all I have to say. Thank you. And I can't wait to hear who's next.
You did an awesome job, Keri, and thank you for all of that great information. I can't wait to watch the video on how to start a movement. Mary Beth Potrykus. So Mary Beth, really in Livingston County, she's the unofficial mayor because she meets and greets everybody in Livingston County. She's involved in the chamber. She's on one of my Caerusnet teams because she's also a big advocate for nonprofits. And she does a lot of wonderful work for PATH, but the reason that she's getting this award is because she's on one of Doug's teams as well too for her primary business, which is Mama Bear through Shackley. She's fantastic. Let's put our hands together and welcome Mary Beth Potrykus for another MVP performance.
Oh, thank you, Steve, and thank you to Doug. Yeah, I've been a Caerusnet member. This is my second group, and so I started in 2014. And I'm humbled to say this is my 5th MVP. So I may have to have another cabinet. No, anyway, I love learning about people. I really do. So when I have a trust builder with someone, I encourage them to do the member minute, who you are, what you do, and who is a good referral. And I really emphatically state to be specific, because that helps me to help them. You know, if they're too generic, that's not going to trigger my mind as to who I know. And I've been with the chamber for 17 years, so I've been in the networking arena for quite a long time, and it really helped me to get out of my box. Yeah, I used to be shy. Anyway, it's been really like I said, I just love learning about people, and the trust builders are really helpful. And, you know, being at the meetings 80% of the time is critical. We will be able to refer people more effectively if they're there more often, because they are devoting that time. And in Doug's groups, we meet in person, so it is a little bit more challenging at times, especially when you're in Michigan and there's 5 inches of snow. So anyway, I love being in Caerusnet. I love learning about people, and congratulations to everyone on MVP. And I've been jotting names down and would love to have a trust builder with you.
All right. Awesome job, Mary Beth.
Let me show my award proudly. I apologize that I can't be there in real life. I actually teach classes in real life, and nothing would you know, make me more happy than to actually be in the room with all of you fantastic people. Man, it has been a ride, Steve. So thank you. You know what drew me to you, and you may not even remember this, but we met a long time ago. And I came in, I think you invited me to a meeting, and I just did like a little elevator pitch, had no idea what I was getting into, but I was intrigued and I knew I wanted to do this at some point. The problem was I didn't have that block of time that I could ever meet in any of your groups at the times that you held. Welcome to the world of Zoom. I do a lot of my business on Zoom, and that is what actually allowed me to finally join the group. You are amazing, very inspirational. You've taught me a lot, right? That's what I'm here for. I'm here to learn, right? We all join a referral group for referrals, right? But we learn as a person, as a business leader, as an entrepreneur, and it is just so amazing to be a part of this. So I thank you for getting me in the group. And the second thing, you guys take advantage of this group. I know we all, join a networking group to network and we want to grow our business, but I can tell you the best piece of advice that I have is look for what you can do for others. That has been the most fun for me. I just think of how valuable it is when somebody refers somebody to me. I'm like, holy cow, that's amazing. Thank you. And I go out of my way to try to put the connections together and actually give somebody else a referral. It will pay you tenfold, but it's just been amazing in having business builder meetings to get to know who you're referring people to. You guys got to network. We're in here to network. So network, take advantage of it and follow Steve's lead. He is amazing. And again, Steve, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
So we've got Steve Beber also on the call today. His MVP couldn't be here, but I know he wants to say a quick word about Scott Gunst from Biggs and Gunst and just what Caerusnet's been for them.
Well, thank you, Steve. I facilitate the Celine Caerusnet group, and Scott came to the Ann Arbor area from New York and the Long Island area. He works with his partner in business, the Biggs and Gunst PC, the family law attorneys. But Scott's got a unique degree also in marine law, nautical law, as he's been a charter boat captain around the Detroit area and New York area. And he's got very good experience in marine and nautical law. So he's got a unique very unique area of law that is very beneficial for this area. So one of the things that's about Scott, when he and his business partner Brandon came to Ann Arbor, they joined the chamber, and being an ambassador of the chamber, I took new member information to them, and they were totally new to the area, although Brandon's got family here. But Scott, he's a fish out of water. And so just, opening my mouth and just saying, hey, would you like to come to a networking meeting and make some contacts? And then it went from there. And he said that because of Caerusnet, their first year and a half, they got just about all their business for their law firm from Caerusnet contacts. And now, my gosh, the guy's got contacts all over the place and friends all over the place because of what Caerusnet has done for the law firm and for him. So very good Caerusnet member, lots of contacts, lots of referrals that he's passed, and this is his first MVP, but my hat's off to him because he knows what he's doing. He's a great law firm and great guy. So Scott Gunst of Biggs and Gunst PC.
All right. Thank you so much, Steve, for speaking on Scott's behalf today. And I second everything you just said. Hey, if you got your MVP award, this is our photo opportunity time. Do you have an opportunity to pick that award up, kind of hold it up in front of you? Just kind of hold it, keep holding it until we get everybody else. And if you don't have one with you, maybe just a cool fist pump like you're celebrating Tom. Let's get that fist pump going. But hey, all right, yeah, just hold it. Awesome.
Got the old one.
Kelly, it's coming. I promise you, it's not going to be the invisible award forever. Thank you, John. Okay, so just a quick thing. You're going to get a recording of this. It's also going to go on to Spotify. Doug Moffat was our Caerusnet Facilitator of the Year last year. Not only has he done a great job with his Brighton and his Ann Arbor team, but he did the impossible. He was able to launch a Caerusnet team in Detroit, which is kind of a passion of his. So very, very cool that he's able to make that happen. And it doesn't go without great members and leaders that, you take challenges like they're speed bumps, right? That's all they are. So with that being said, thank you so much. I hope to see you guys back here again, maybe a year from now, but even more importantly, you spread that MVP love to your team. Through your actions, you're going to continue to inspire greatness on your team. So again, thank you for all you do. And I always tell everybody, don't ever go into your appointments alone. You've got a team you can take with you. We'll see you guys soon, hopefully at the member breakfast July 19th or Referraltopia on March 9th. And then there's also the Caerusnet party afterwards. I'll be sure I include all that in the recap email for today. Have a great weekend, everybody. Thanks for all you do.